Hey, yo, what's good? The Hardwood Knuckleheads back for episode. Hey, this is episode number 30, dog.
That's 30 times, bro. We actually done
30 times.
This is crazy. 30.
We're doing the thing.
Zero. Man, it's tell you, man, before you know it, we're gonna be up there. It's
we're gonna be up there, man. We're gonna be up there.
Just practice or whatever. We're gonna try to figure this out one time. You know what I mean? We're gonna figure it out. Just keep staying with us. We're gonna figure this whole thing out. We good.
Hey, I really want to do a live episode. We gotta do a live episode so we can get real time comments from people. Have the people in talking shit.
We're gonna have a live. I got kids that be live all the time. So just as long as we know that
what it is, we're gonna do it. We gotta do it.
Doing whatever. So just
yeah. That is yo, we here, man. Hardwood Knuckleheads, episode 30. It's your boy King and Garnett. We up in here. Sorry, y'all. We didn't have a Monday episode. 1, I was sick. 2, Garnett was hella busy. 3, I ain't gonna lie, I was licking my wounds from getting our asses kicked.
Stop! Don't say it like that.
It's just man. It is what it is, dog. Yeah. So yeah, man. Congratulations to Ironwood and Coach Augustine. Tremendous program. They got over on us a week from today, last Friday. And they took home the 5A championship, and so we were runners up, which is still a good year, man. We had a great year. Just sucks to end that way.
Down on for sure.
No, absolutely not. But you know what? The thing about it is, and you know this, and I know it. Like sometimes when you're trying to get to where you're going, you're gonna take L's, man. You gotta be able to take that ass whooping and move on. So it did suck. And it did hit home for a few days. I ain't gonna lie, I was in my feelings, bro. I was in my feelings, dog.
A lot more slow R&B music was played at the house. Or he was just like
put the Usher, let it burn. You ain't right for that. Dog. That's cold, bro. You kick a man while he's down. Oh my gosh, that's weak. Oh man. But yeah.
Man. Hey, but man, I mean, but I'm like real talk though. I mean, like, congrats on the season though. I mean, like get again, like we talked about it. And we really been here. I mean, if you think about when we started this before season started.
Mm-hmm.
So it's kind of like we've been able to be on that journey, like, us. And when I say us, I'm talking about me and then like the listeners or whatever, like with you guys the whole year, with the ups and with the downs, I mean, like the good times, the bad. So, I mean, like with that said, I mean, like, hats go off to you guys and, and like the team just for getting there, man. I mean, you don't realize how hard it is to even just get there. Like, you know what I mean? Like every year, I mean, like, you got all these teams that are, that all kind of have that written on the board, or they think that they want to do that or, whatever, but really only 2 make it.
Right.
Every year they make it to that game or whatever. And then, like one's going to get it, one's not. And so it's just, I mean, like, it's definitely a lot harder than just talking about that shit. So, I mean, like the fact that you guys were, able to do that. I mean, even going back to in Vegas, when you guys started doing like the free stuff or whatever and playing all that tough competition to put yourselves in a position, to be ready for those like tougher games, tougher matchups and stuff, whatever, like all those things that you guys did. I mean, like the road wins, like Canyon View and all those other places. I mean, like, I hope that like you guys, I mean, and then not just the players, but you guys were the too, like, no, like, I mean, you guys did your damn thing this year. Like, what I mean? Like you guys went in there and like you guys like crawled into the tournament on accident, off some, bullshit fluke stuff or whatever. And then just kind of had like a little bit of a run. I mean, you guys, like you guys were actually one of the ones up there at the top the whole year, but you guys had put yourself in that position to be like that. So, I'm hoping that you guys are coming away with some positive stuff.
No, I appreciate that for sure.
Yeah. I mean, like, it's never fun to lose that last game, but at the same time, it's like, shit. I mean, it's a game at the end of the day. And I mean, like the relationship with the kids and everything like that is just way more important. Granted, you know, in those moments it's probably not the best, but you know, that's what the team aspect is all about and stuff. It's good. So
couldn't have said it any better, man. And you know, it's crazy looking back on. We had our banquet earlier this week, and so we got to you know, reminisce and talk about all the all parts of the journey. And it is cool, man. It's you know, sometimes it takes you a couple of days to want to reflect because you're still in the moment of the loss. You know what I mean? But you know, I know I've done a lot of reflecting, and it like you said, it was a great year, man. And these kids have been grinding since you know, last spring and in the summer, into the fall, and through the season. So, you know, it's cool. We set a lot of records as a team for the school, you know, which is a benchmark for, you know, for the future, for everybody to look up to.
Right. Absolutely.
And I remember something that a couple of our former teammates said. I remember getting text messages from McDade and from Gebhardt. Shout out to the dudes, Billy, Ross. I mean, a lot of those guys reached out prior to the game and even after the game. It just was like, you know, you gotta take it all in, especially me with my son going through it as well.
Absolutely.
So I remember after the game, man, I was, you know, just shocked at how the game went and just, you know, you scored 31 points and we never scored 31 points. Like that was by far our lowest point total all season. So it's just one of those performances where it ain't your day, whatever. But I remember standing on the court with Amari after the game, and he's actually shook up, and you know, you got the team over here celebrating. They're about to get their trophy, and it was just this moment between me and him, and I was just like, "Hey, man, this is part of it. This is part of the journey. This is part, and it's not just the high school journey. This is part of your basketball journey. You know that." You're gonna face these moments.
This is gonna happen again, right?
It's gonna happen, and you gotta you gotta appreciate the journey, appreciate all that you did to get there,
right?
And then you gotta find a way to build momentum off of your failures and get to work. You know what I mean?
Learn how to reframe it.
Yeah.
Flip it. You know what I'm saying? Like, okay, like this is going to be the motivation or inspiration or whatever going into the next AAU season, going into the summertime, you know, off season where I'm going to start getting back into the weight room and getting into the gym. And then ultimately, once you guys start getting back into the season, come what? I mean, you guys start a little bit earlier, so like October-ish, right?
Yeah, sure. We're going to start in August. You know?
Okay. Well, even earlier than that then. Yeah.
So
that's awesome.
Yeah. And it's just cool. I remember there was a quote, a video I saw of Kobe. And it's crazy because like I wasn't the biggest Kobe fan when he was playing, but like the more and more after, you know, he's passed and you have all these celebrations and things that you see for our generation, like Kobe was the dude. Like, you know, we had Jordan, but we were still a little young with Jordan. We got to see him in his prime.
Right.
But Kobe was kind of the dude.
We saw him the whole time. Right.
Yeah. So like you see these videos of him speaking, and I remember one video he said, you know, he was being interviewed and he was talking about like, hey, you know, you win a championship, and he goes, what do you do the next day? He goes, you get to work. And he goes, he goes, what if you lose? Well, you get back to work. Like it's the same thing. You know what I mean?
Right, exactly. Yeah.
Like, if you want to be great, you just got to work, and so you learn from those situations, both good and bad, and then you move on. So, yeah, man, it's quite the experience, bro.
Right. No,
yeah.
I mean that's so. I mean, like, so last year, how far did you guys go last year with this team?
Last year we lost in the first round.
Okay.
Yeah, we won a game. We had to play a playing game. Yeah, and we won that one. And then we had to go on the road, and we played I think we were there with the number one team. We ended up losing. So, you know, that's a big jump from first round to the state finals. So,
exactly right there. Come on, that's okay. That's
So,
that's awesome.
Yeah, man, it is what it is, man. But now it's like it's kind of nice to not be coaching. It's kind of nice to get that break. Lord knows I need it. Shoot, I'm tired. Like
right.
I'm tired. I'm sick and battling this cold that I think is probably somewhat stress related because of the last couple of weeks of the season.
Not able to go there too, and like that'll do something for you there too. Right.
Yeah. But now I get to sit back and start to enjoy March. Now it's learning time. It's learning time for us as coaches, right? You get to just put on the TV and find games after game after game, and that's the fun part. I love this time of year. So
get back to the drawing board, try to start kind of thinking about what you kind of want to do next year and stuff or whatever. How soon after your guys' season, win or loss at the end doesn't matter. Like how soon after the season do you kind of start like, I don't know, kind of just like depth charting your team, like the guys that are going to be gone. Obviously, those are going to be some big shoes to fill.
Right.
The big boy inside, and then Aylen as well there too. And I think was that the only 2 seniors that you had, or did you have?
No, we had 6, and so we got some holes to fill.
More, even like more shoes to fill. And then so then it's like with that, like I mean, do you start? I mean, I guess like how soon on like the depth chart? How many guys JV do you think are going to make the jump? Do you got any freshmen that you think are going to, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, just like how does that stuff start happening?
Yeah, I mean, I think for the most part we've been kind of charting it all year until we have an idea. And we plan on doing some exit interviews here in the coming weeks. We're about to hit spring break, so kids will have 2 weeks off, but probably once we come back to start school again, we're going to meet with those kids and just kind of letting them know what we expect, what they need to work on, how they can improve, because we lost 6 seniors, we got 6 spots, and it's just like, who wants it? You know what I mean? And but also at the same time, you got to think about your personnel coming back and how we're going to utilize those kids. What changes do we need to make, or what things do we want to maintain? I'd say here in the next few weeks, we'll really hammer things home, because now, I mean, it's crazy here in Arizona. Like the season ends, and like literally you are jumping right into club season. Like everybody's having their tryouts this week.
Crazy,
which is good, because the kids need, they need a break from us, and they need to go hear a different voice. And so they don't get much of a break, but that's what they chose. I mean, some of these kids, they got aspirations and goals, and so it's just, you got to get to it. It's just the way it is. So yeah. So then,
so you got 6 guys. I mean, 6 spots that you guys got to fill. Now, like as far as the summertime and stuff, do you pretty much just have your team set in the summertime as far as who? Or is there any room in tryouts or whatever later on? September, August. September, October for like new kids to kind of come in. Like, I'm just because how some will be like, okay, we're getting ready for for like the summer season. So then you'll put together your team and then kind of just like ride that one out. Like,
right.
Like, are there any kids or whatever that may or may not, or like are close on that fence that could
I think more so than the past couple of years that's going to be the case. I mean, I think when we head into summer ball, school ends mid-May, and we start, that first week of June, I think we're going to have probably a bigger roster than we normally have in the summer. We'll have to work on cutting it down for playing time purposes, right? But there's definitely going to be some battles, with the kids coming up from JV. The good thing about our program right now is, like, varsity obviously had a good year. Our JV team was 18-1. Our freshman team was 18-1.
Okay, right? So you guys got some people that are coming up then.
Yeah, so it's like we got some kids in the pipeline. It's just who's ready to make that jump.
Team, whatever, like 6. Oh wow, that okay.
Yeah.
That'd have been okay. No, that makes it interesting there too, because you got
real interesting
kids on that freshman team that are like, wait a minute,
right?
I should be considered for one of these spots right there too. Which is gonna make the summer so much fun for you guys, because you're gonna have a lot. I mean, if you're 18-1 in that season before, you're coming into this thing like, hey, like one of these spots is mine. And if you're not thinking that one of those spots is yours, well, then there's a problem. You know what I mean? Because someone else is thinking about that there too. So that's awesome, man. Shoot, what? Season 2? Oh, it's
crazy, right? I mean, that's just a hell of a year on a program standpoint. It's just and it's cool. So it's like, and for a lot of those kids, it ain't gonna start. If you wait till June to start working and you behind, you gotta get to work now. So yeah, it makes for competition. It makes for hopefully a level of drive and determination within the program for guys to step up, and we'll see how it goes.
Hey, how many guys that are on your team? I mean, are on like okay, I guess that the question is so when you guys are putting your things together, like I notice out here, like like when I watch games, especially over at like Walla Walla High School and things or whatever, like, and I don't know if it's just the way that they do things or not, right? But very, very rarely does a freshman get considered to play at the varsity level. Like, what I mean? I think that since I've been here for 12 years, I think that in the 12 that I've been here, only one kid that was a freshman actually played. And then I'm trying to think, it might have been maybe, I want to say two kids that I know for sure, and I'm sure I might be missing maybe one or two that were freshmen that played JV. How are you guys on that? And as a coach, like, what are your thoughts? Like, just kind of like on that situation. Like, it kind of seems kind of weird that like you wouldn't put some of those better players that are younger in those like JV situations and things like that. If ultimately, because like what'll happen is like you'll have some that like play freshmen and then they'll make jump from freshman to varsity without even having to do like the JV. And I've always thought like, well, if he was only on the freshman team, but then the next year that he's good enough to play varsity, well, his freshman year wasn't he good enough to play like what are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, so I think it's a little different out here because freshmen, if you have a good enough freshman, I think it's smart to give them a look with the varsity at first, right? Like, and if it's not working, if you see some areas where they need improvement, then you put them on JV, right? Well, the good thing about, I don't know if it's good, but it's the way it is here. I like it because down here, you can put a kid on freshman, and then they can also play JV because they can play what they call, they give them the six quarter rule, right?
Right. We do. Yeah.
So my thing is, if a kid is good enough to be on varsity, then put him on varsity.
Okay.
If the kid needs some work and he needs reps, especially against some older kids, to get himself acclimated to playing against more physical, bigger bodies, then you put them on that JV and you let them get their time. I do think there are situations though, like where you have a backlog at a position, right? And you could have a varsity kid that like he could technically play on varsity, but is he actually going to get minutes? Then I don't think it's smart to have a kid on varsity in that situation because
and then not get any better.
Right. They're going to get practice reps. That's cool. And that's great. Right. But
game ones,
they need game reps. You know what I mean? So my thing is you just got to find the best place where they're going to develop and they're going to get experience and they're going to get the live game training to improve and build confidence. Right. And so that they're comfortable in who they are as a player. So, yeah, man, I think, we haven't had I wouldn't say we've had a ton of kids that have played freshman. I know Mari didn't play when he played JV as a freshman. He played both. He did the 6 quarter thing for a long time, and then he played a lot of JV. We haven't, I think in the 3 years that I've been at Castile, we haven't had a freshman up on varsity.
Do you think that was when Amari was doing that freshman to JV deal? Do you think that him getting the freshman reps? Do you think that helped him at all?
I do, because I think for him, it was confidence building, and then the JV aspect of it was more like get your ass kicked and learn. Because we knew like there were certain kids that we knew that we needed. Amari was one of those that like we knew that we were going to need him as a sophomore. Right. So it was like we had to accelerate the process a little more and kind of throw him to the wolves a little bit. You know what I mean? Which wasn't always smooth, because they're young and they're still immature and they don't it's not like they're They're not accustomed to being coached hard and being accountable and stuff like that. So, you know, for them, there's some pushback, but it's like, yo, we got to get you here because next year you got to be ready, you know?
Okay, so let me ask you something real quick. Let me just interrupt you for a second because I like how like you said that, because like with the whole them being younger, the maturity, the way that they respond to adversity, things like that, you know, we got to remember that these kids just came from middle school, right?
Yeah,
so, you know what I mean? And then it's like at middle school, they were also probably like one of the better ones and this and this. Things kind of came a little bit easier, maybe didn't have to work as hard in some moments because you just didn't have to. You were better. Do you, as a coach, if you do have a kid that's like that, that's up playing, you know, just like you said, that like you're trying to like accelerate the process with, you know, with him there, right? So kind of having him do the freshman and the JV, knowing that by the time that he gets like that sophomore year or whatever, that like we're going to need him to play up at like that level. Like, is there any kind of, and I don't know how to ask it the right way. Is there any kind of like leash that like you give them or whatever, just in so that way that they can kind of, you know what I mean? Because it's like I understand that like you got to coach the kids to try to play at that level, but at the same time, do you have to coach each one a little bit differently and like allow them a little bit of wiggle room so that way that you can kind of, one, so you can kind of see what they're able to do. Two, you can kind of see how they adjust their, you know, like to like the adversity and stuff. And then like three, like, you know, how they respond to those situations and stuff. Because not every person that you coach them the same exact way. Like you just can't, like, you know what I mean? Is there like wiggle room like that when they're like younger and stuff? And kind of talk to us about that process.
I mean, there should be, to be honest. I feel like there should be. I don't think you can. I think it's important that you have program. What's the word? Characteristics, or you have a culture that you are expecting everybody to buy into, right? But at the same time, like when you have kids that are talented, and they're young, right? Like you can't coach them the same way you would coach a senior, right? You can't do that, right? And so, like, and I'll just use Amari because we're talking about it. Just like when he was a freshman, I remember him having these games as freshman. He would do so much stuff on the freshman team. He would get to the JV games, his game would change because he's playing against older dudes, right? And then he would have these moments where he'd get pissed off, and then he'd get a little lippy. And shout out to Coach Glosser. Jeremy would chew his ass, boy. And I was sitting in the stands, and I was just like, yeah, you gonna learn today, boy. You gonna learn. You know what I mean? But you still in those moments, like you're teaching your program culture, but you still have to adjust it to the kid. Like you have to, yes, you got to give them a little leeway. Like, and I don't think it wasn't.
It's not like providing excuses for them. No, I mean, like you're still going to work hard. You just have to allow them to kind of grow a little bit differently, just because of the expectation is the next 3 years you're going to have to play for us here. So like we're going to let you not get away with stuff, but we're going to see what you can do, and then we're going to bring it back when you're doing too much or not doing enough.
Yeah, and to be honest, a lot of it is not physically based, right? It's more mental, and how you approach being coached, or how you approach being talked about, your mistakes, right? So it's one thing like if a kid comes down like 4 times in a row and jacks up a bad shot or throws the ball into the stands, right? You're gonna pull him for that, right?
Right.
But when you have the conversation with the kid, what you're expecting, what you hope, is that like, hey, let me coach you up on why you're making this mistake, or why that was a bad shot, right? And hopefully you have a kid that like that's the end of it. Like they get it, they understand, right? But with young kids, as you know, they want to talk back, or they want to get in their feelings. And to me,
they want to get the last word, right?
And to me, like that's the point at which the conversation changes, right? And
mentally he's not ready.
Right. When Amari was a freshman, there were moments where he got a little lippy and he got a little attitude, and that to me, that's what pissed me off. It's like, because it's not again, as a young player, at that point where you make it about you, like, and you're not being coachable, then that's where the road hits the wall, and you're no longer getting better.
Right. It's going to affect the team in the bigger picture there too.
Yeah, so, you're affecting everybody now.
Right.
So like you, as young players, they have to realize that we want to give you a leash. We want to give you some freedom. We want you to be able to make mistakes so we can coach them up so you don't make them again. But don't be uncoachable. Don't be uncoachable, because then you're putting a ceiling on how high you can go. You know what I mean? And so I think that's the biggest thing that we try to stress in our program is like, guys, like all of you are different. You're all different players. You bring different pieces to the puzzle.
Right.
And we want you to go out and go hard and do your thing. But when you make mistakes or there's something you can do better, and maybe not even a mistake, it's just if you want to play varsity ball, there's a better way to do it.
Right.
You know what I mean? It may be something so small as like you are guarding a guy up top along the free throw line, and we force sideline baseline. But you got your feet so turned that he's getting a straight line drive from up top.
And that's a direct. Yeah, you can't do it direct. Right.
So it's just little things like that. It's like you got to be able to just hear that, take it in, and then get better at it. You know what I mean?
Or then hear it and then just at least try to make the adjustment, because if the coach can see that you're trying, well, then they're going to keep working with you.
Yeah.
They tell you something, and then you're just kind of like, all right, whatever, and then you just keep letting him just make them straight lines or whatever. He's like, okay, obviously he doesn't get it. You can go have a seat. Then we can talk about this later. So just okay.
It's that old saying. You know how you heard this going. You probably heard this back when you was in 3rd, 4th grade. I know I heard it a long time ago. It's like, hey, as long as coach is talking to you, you're doing all right. But if coach stop talking to you.
The moment that coach don't got nothing to say, that's when you better be. Yeah, it's like
you're in trouble then. You know what I mean?
Right.
And a lot of kids don't understand that concept. It's just a phrase to them. It's just like
right. Okay, and it's almost like I think now with just like this generation there too, because like the one thing that I see with the generation, there's not as much communication like as it used to be. But I mean, it's just like overall, like like I'll see Aylen, like talking with, not like talking with guys. He'll be around guys that like he's played against here and there or whatever, and they can't say what's up to each other. They can't.
Right. Everybody too cool.
But then they'll like an Instagram post or they'll write, "Hey man, you're killing it." Like, you know what I mean? Like you can do it on that.
Yeah.
When they're standing in front of your face, you can't even give them like a what's up or how you doing. Like, it's like, you know what I mean? So like the communication part is just way, way different than kind of just how it used to be. But just like you said though, too, like when the coach is talking to you, that means he cares. That means that means he definitely sees potential in you as a player.
Right.
And like he wants you to grow. But again, it's just like when they stop talking, that's when you have to be worried, like, oh shit. Yeah. Maybe I'm not doing, like what I'm supposed to be doing, or like you need to be thinking like, what more can I do? Because obviously I'm not getting paid, attention to. But I think a lot of too, just like you said, they think it's a phrase, and then a lot of them don't want to be coached.
They want to do their own thing.
They want to play. They don't want to be coached though. So it's just and there's just a difference between the two. So it's like, no, you can't have one without the other. You can't. At least for me or for you anyway. Like it's like you're not just gonna play for me. You're gonna play and I'm gonna coach you. If you have that relationship, well then you can go find another team and I'm fine with it. You know what I mean? Like it's not a problem at all. Like, there is no love lost between us. Like, I still hope and pray that everything works out for you. This won't be a good fit because
it'll work. Wow.
That's all I do is talk. And so it'll work. Yeah.
Yeah, man. So that's all good, man. So, we in that stage where we just gonna reload and
that's it. Yeah, exactly right. Yeah.
But tell me because your ass, again, everybody out there. So everybody like we lose Friday night. I'm in my feelings, right? I'm kind of in a state of shock a little bit about how the game went. I wake up Saturday morning, and everybody knows if y'all out there, you played in the championship game and you lost. You know this feeling. Like you go to bed the night of, and I had some friends in town, so luckily we had a few drinks. We were able to talk about the game, and it didn't feel as bad. But I remember I woke up Saturday morning and I was pissed off, boy. I was pissed. I was like, what kind of bullshit did we do last night? And then you think about like, why didn't I do this? Why didn't I do that?
Everything. Right.
So I'm like, I'm in my feelings, and then I get a text, y'all. I get a text from my boy Garnett. He's in Vegas. He's like, yo, how you doing? How's Amari doing? I'm like, you know what? It's kind of a tough day.
Right.
And I don't want to talk about it no more. So I asked.
No, I
know. I said, how's Aylen doing? How does the games go? I don't hear shit. This dude don't respond. He don't do nothing. And so all I know is, here's what I know. There's either two things that's gonna happen. Two things done gone on, okay? Either one, he mad because the games didn't go well, and you don't want to talk about it neither. Or, which is more likely, this is the more likely scenario, this dude, Garnett, is in Vegas out his damn mind. He done went out. He done been out all night at the club doing this.
Stop.
He is in no form to answer my text.
Yeah. Okay. So, some of that is true. Not all.
No, all of it's true, guys.
No, because I wasn't out there getting. No. I wasn't doing that. I wasn't doing that because we were just gonna stay. We stayed over at the Stratosphere, which was fine. Just okay.
It's called the Strat.
Oh, my fault. We stayed at the Strat. We stayed at the Strat. Yeah, no. We stayed at the Strat. And you remember David Michaels. David came out there. Shout out to D Mike. I know he's out there listening. He's Aylen's like big brother and stuff. So he came out with us and watched all the games with Aylen and everything. And then we get back and Aylen wanted to just play video games and just kind of hang out and stuff after we go eat, after we go hang out and stuff upstairs or whatever. And then he was, he's going to go to bed or watch TV. So we go downstairs and we just sat at the roulette table and we were just there for a very long time.
Okay.
Very long. But it was a good night on both nights there. Like, you know what I mean? It's like one of those ones where we're you left Vegas with something rather leaving Vegas like, damn, man, I done lost all my money.
Came up short.
Yeah, man, when they took it. So, so we had a good night, 2 nights on that. And it was just, we're really just kind of we were there just kind of, you play roulette or whatever because the table's only $10. So it's way cheap. So we're able to just kind of, you can kind of stretch stuff out there for just a long time and just really kind of just talk basketball. So that's where I was at. And it was up there. I was down there for a minute. Yeah, so it was. But that part.
And then, so it's funny because Monday rolls around, right? And I wasn't feeling good. I wasn't feeling good. I got a head cold going on. I'm trying to work from home, and then I'm sitting there. I'm like, yo, we got to do this show. And then all of a sudden, my phone go off, and Garnett, just like the sun coming up, boy. He sent me this text. He said, "Hey, I think I done had too many. I got it. I'm not feeling all the way right." I say, "Hey, man, it's all good, bro. I get you, dog. I ain't mad at you, bro. I go to Vegas. I do the same thing.
It's too much.
Just hey.
Too much.
But tell me, hey, I know we joke. Tell me how Aylen and the team went. How did that go? How was the basketball part of it?
How's the basketball? Okay, after we got through that, the basketball part was actually pretty good. They made it to the Made Hoops finals or whatever. So there was only 8 teams that made it. So they played a team out of Southern California called 360. Again, they've got some really good kids that are on that team. I think I was telling you this last week or the week before. That a lot of them we've seen over the last 2 years at the EBC All-American camp that they do in August, right? So, so I think 3 of the kids that were on that team, played there. And so, Mine Walker, a kid that I was talking to you about last time or whatever, the little shifty guard that just got crazy range, he's on that team. They got this other kid named, his name is Jamar. I think his last name is Chase. It might be Clark. I think that it sounds like it might be Clark.
Okay.
Yeah, anyways, but he's the post. Hey,
he's like a big burly, got good footwork.
Oh my God, his feet are so good.
Yes,
his feet are so good.
Yes.
Oh my
I know who you're talking about. We saw him out in Cali.
He was putting on a clinic on the block.
Yeah.
He had a couple where he catch it, reverse, reverse pivot, then one where he got it, reverse pivot, dribble into the guy, spun back, layup, good baseline. You're like, oh. Wait a minute. Then he catches it again on the same block. He opens up the opposite way this time. Reverse pivot on the opposite way. Shot faking, just ripped it through and he went to the basket and then got a bucket. Then he went inside and he bumped our guy. Shot fake. He jumped, stepped. It was just it's so Texas. And I'm sitting there.
Has good footwork.
It's one of those ones where I'm filming the game, right? But it was and again, the older that we get, and I'm sure that this too. those that you get, like when you watch the game now too. Obviously, I'm there because I want to watch my son and I want to watch him do his thing. And I'm watching kids that are on this team there too, and you're trying to encourage and you're trying to talk to too. But shit, it's like, man, when you see good basketball, like, hey, that's great. But like, you know what I mean? Like you hear me on camera, like, hey, that's good move. That's it's because you just appreciate it at such a young level that I mean, like and I'm only saying young level as far as their grade, right? Because they're like right? But they're playing high level at the 6th grade. But it's like the way that they're playing it, like, I mean, like to get into the lane like that, jump stop, pivot shot. I mean, like to do all those things and then to score it and then know how to make the plays out of it. Like you gotta salute that. You gotta
because you know, like when you see and it is crazy you said, because I've been at tournaments and done the same thing. You watching a game and you see a kid make a move and you're like, yo, that's advanced level for even a 12-year-old. And two, more importantly, it's like you appreciate it because you know that kid is in the gym working.
Facts. Right there, what you just said right there. You know he's in there. Like you don't just get that footwork just because you were just at home chilling all day long. Like you're in the gym working with your dad, like, you know, and then it was cool too because as I was watching it, I was watching his dad was off to the side there too. And his dad's a bigger dude, and he was kind of cheering under too. And it was just fun. You know, then it gets fun because then you just like you're watching him like trying to coach his son up or get excited for him. And then it's just like you just get just a more respect for both of them.
Right.
I feel like that's how I am with my son. And then so like I see another guy that's like there with this kid and stuff, and it just, man, it was just awesome. But I mean, you know, but so we ended up playing against them, and the game was pretty close for a while, and then we kind of took, you know, like we kind of started making a separation probably towards like the second half of the second half, because they only play 14 minutes now, right? But it's 14 minute stop clock there too. So I mean, basically, I guess if you kind of make that the equivalent to playing like 4 7-minute quarters, they're kind of, because they stop at everything, like, you know. And so so there's that. And they just, I thought that they played well, you know, and I'm like, I thought Aylen had a really good game. You know, he just, you know, it was kind of one of those ones where like we had talked to him about, you know, like, you know, going into the game there too, about like, you know, want you to just, you know, get used to just showing more than just wanting to do one thing out there, right? You know, like sometimes like to where like, you know, he's always like been a guard, has been like a pass first guard, especially if guys are running. If you're running and like you're out, he wants to throw it ahead. He kind of wants to get guys going there too, right? Or like he likes to set up. But the problem is sometimes that he'll set up, and then he'll forget that like he's got some things that he can do with his offense as well there too. Whether or not, you know, take the ball to the basket or hit a three or, you know, take it and kind of shoot off the dribble. He'll just kind of like, oh, well, you know, guys are hitting shots. And so I don't want to do much. I just want to find like, nah, but like, you got to try to find a way to get yourself involved in the game with that as well.
Hit your spots.
Right. I'm not saying that you got to shoot the ball every time, but I need you, but like, you got to know, like you put in a lot of work to be here. Like, so this, like, it's only right. Or, you know, I don't think anybody's going to fault you if like, you get to catch a couple times and like, you know, and like you try to get loose or try to go make a move or do something, you know. And so it's, you know, one thing
was just don't be passive. Don't be passive.
Yeah, right. Exactly. Right. Don't be passive. Yeah. Stay in the game. I mean, you know, make the play, but don't try not to make plays.
Right.
Yeah. So, you know, like the one thing we're like with him this year, because again, he's kind of like, he's even stretched out, probably even more than what he was, over at the EBC camp. I think at EBC camp, they probably had him around like 5'6.5", almost 5'7", I think now he's closer to like 5'9" now or whatever. So that's it. But it's not just 5'9" here. His arms.
He's wide. Yeah.
Arms are longer too. And it's just like, you can see it when you watch him, that they're just like, damn, like, you know, he's just like long as shit now. Like, he just, you know, like 2 years ago, he wasn't like that. Like, he was a little bit rounder and like in the face. He was all, but like, you knew he was
out there like Khalid Al-Amin.
No, I mean, like he was. Now he's down, and you're like, oh wow, like you're different now. You know what I mean?
Right, yeah.
Moves different. And so like when you stretch out, now you start to move different. You've got a newer found confidence there too, because you're like, oh, wait a minute, I can do some more things than like I used to be able to do. And so one of the things been able, like, that we've been kind of like talking to him about is like understanding, like, if you've got a guard that's like, you know, like a smaller guard, you don't always got to dance with the ball. Like, go to the mid block, go to the mid.
That's the worst thing you could do, actually.
Right, exactly, right. Because all that they're going to do is they're just going to sit down there and they're just going to wait to time it, and they're already than you. And so like he's been kind of like looking, for those opportunities. So it's been kind of fun to kind of see him just on the mental side. You know what I mean? Like how at the game and trying to figure out, like, just like you said, like when I can take my shots, when I can kind of strike on my moments or whatever. So when he gets smaller guard him, he's like, you know what? I can go 1-2 and I can get to the turnaround, and he's not going to be able to get that. And just being able to kind of see him actually do that in a game. It's one thing when we do it at workout. You know what I mean? Right. Like hey, like you to work on, like back down, turn around, baseline jump. Like it's one thing to do it then. It's one thing to do it when you're kind of doing open gym against guys that you know how to play against because you've been playing against them all the time or whatever. Kind of like, oh, I can kind of get away with it. But when you're in the moment in one of these ones, when it's like you got to win or you go home type deal.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Then all of a sudden now it kind of just makes it different. And so now he's able to kind of go into it. And then he turns around and like he knocks shotgun. You're looking at like, that's pretty good. Like, you know what I mean? Like you almost, I get excited for him because he's doing things now in games that like we've practiced like a lot. You know, like, and it's like, you know how it is with like Amari there too. I'm sure that there's probably things that you guys have probably practiced. I mean, like over and he probably still hasn't even done it as much as like, you'd be like, damn, dude, do you know if you did that in a game?
Right.
Be so open to do like you like. So he's just having those. So they end up winning like that first game, and then we played against Arsenal. Arsenal is just so damn good, man. Like they're just, shout out to that whole team, Coach Potts. I mean, like I've had the pleasure of knowing him just from a coaching standpoint. I've coached against him for a couple years and stuff when I had teams, like back in the day and stuff. But his son is Cameron Potts, and I don't know if you've seen it on Instagram or whatever.
I have.
That kid is the real. He's so damn quick. And he can shoot it, and his confidence in it, like that he has in himself and his belief in himself is through the roof. And it's just like when you can see that at like a young age so much, like it's pretty cool to see, especially when you get a chance to watch him live. Because like you can watch a thing, you can watch a clip on Instagram or something and be like, oh wow, like that's pretty good. But then when you watch him live, you're like, oh wait, no, like he does this. Like, that's kind of fun. And they've got Cam who can hey guys, shh. Chill.
They got the Garnett kids getting loose.
They're crazy, So they got Cam, who's an incredible point guard, can shoot it with range, can guard. He can he's got. I think he's like 11, but he can go both ways. He finished around the basket with both hands. Like you know what I mean? Like he makes it pretty tough. And then they got two guys on the inside that are. They're like bigs that are actual bigs. Like I'm talking about one of them is an athletic rim running big. The other one might not be as athletic, but he is bigger and he hits you on the screens and he rolls hard. Like it forces you to make that switch every time. Like, put you in like mouse situations where like now he's got the guard. And they're just like, and they're just coached well. You know what I'm saying? They're just really, really coached well. And so, so they got into us early, right? You know what I mean? Like we were like we were playing them tough. We're knocking some shots down and like they got into us early. And then, so how they do it in like made hoops is that in the second half, if at any time you're down by 30 points, they call it a game. And I think it would be a staple for all AAU, because I think that's when games start to get nasty. That's when parents get think that you're trying to run. You know what I mean? Like this, like make it at something and then like cut it off there, right? So add it up to 25. And they were starting to press us now too, because you could see they were just like shit.
They were like, let's end this. Let's
just get 5 more points, then we can just be done. And then all of a sudden, like Rotary, like they woke up. It was crazy. Like it was 25. Like we were down 25, and then and then I'll be damned. Like just like that, like we cut that shit all the way down to I believe it was 10. So we cut it to 10. Aylen hit a 3 to cut it to 10, and then we got to stop. And then we went down to go and then try to score, like it was a layup or something. We blew an opportunity to kind of make a layup to kind of cut it to single digits. They went down, they hit a 3. It's a 5-point swing there, right? You give up points, we don't put 2 on the board. They put 3 on the board. It's 5 points. And then but it was like one of those ones where like when you're like looking at the game. Now again, we ended up losing the game by like 15, 18, I think is when it was, right? Because we just ran out of gas at about like that 3-minute mark. We just, which is fine. But I was just happy with the effort that they put. They just showed no quit. And it's like at the end of the day, I just don't want to see you guys quit out there. Play your ass off. I don't care about the score, but just play, just like play your ass off out there. But I think we missed like 5 front ends of 1-on-1s.
Yeah.
About 4 or 5 layups that were like you don't want to say point blank layups, but they were pretty much
something they should finish.
You know what I mean? Like to ones where like heard footsteps, you think that the block's coming or not, so you're not concentrating like as much. So you know, like we get those what's the word that A uses? We get those spectacular misses. We're like, oh, like it was like right there.
Yeah.
Right. Where it's kind of one of those ones where it's like where I was talking to Aylen after the game, like that's when like those are those games in like in a one like that where those buckets they like all of them matters, right? You know what I mean? Like, if you're able to hit those ones, then you're able to consistently keep yourself into a game against a really, really good team. Right. And it's like as the game gets closer, the pressure really falls on them because they were probably expecting themselves to beat you by 25, 30 points or whatever. So if you're making it closer, then you're really tightening it up on them. And all like you guys got to do is just keep playing. And so I don't know. It was kind of one of those. It was a good moment to be able to kind of sit and just talk with him about. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's cool.
That one or whatever. So then we were out, and then like Arsenal ended up winning the game. I mean, winning the championship. They played Paul George Elite in the championship, which was crazy because we played Paul George Elite in Seattle, and we actually beat them in Seattle. And then so it's like there's
it shows how matchups work.
That's what it is. I mean, like it's all about matchups, and that's what even like when Lex was asking me before, she's like, how do you think that we're gonna do? I'm like, I think that they can probably win the first game. I said, we'll just have to make sure that we're hitting shots. I said, if we play Arsenal, I said, I just don't like the way we match up. Not that we can't play it. I just don't like the matchup. They got bigs that are like big, like, you know what I mean? We've got one big, and then we've got another guy that plays big, but he really, if he was on any other team, he would probably be a 4. He'd probably be a 3 or 4.
Right.
You know what I mean? So it's just like we just can't match up like you're just saying there too. And so, and it even goes back there too. I mean, like you talk about matchups. I mean, it even goes back to like take like the Fairleigh Dickinson versus Purdue last year. Purdue was the number 1 overall seed against a 16 seed that probably barely got it. I mean, Fairleigh Dickinson, I mean, you're looking at them like, no, like there's no way. But like the matchup was not in Purdue's favor because now you're in a situation where he's got to guard a guy on the outside and this, and so it just didn't work out for him. But anyways, just the matchup part was it.
That's
but I mean,
cool.
Though too. I mean, Aylen had a really good time. It was really fun for him just to kind of just, it was fun for all of us just to be able to kind of watch him, and not just him, but just watch the team and watch them progress over like this little winter season and stuff or whatever. And who knows? I think maybe they're talking about maybe trying to do it again in like the springtime. We're trying to figure all this stuff out. We're not sure, but I was happy for him on that there too. So it was, it was good. Now he's going to kind of transition into doing some 7-on-7 football and stuff or whatever. And, in like the gym, do 7-on-7 stuff now, but
that's cool, man. That's I'm glad they had a good experience and they got to, like you say, I think it's good that you won that first game because you don't want to leave there without winning one.
Exactly. Yeah, no, that's just ain't fun at all.
Yeah. But then they got to play against a really good team and learn and grow, man. So that's all you want.
At the end of the day, there too, I mean, like those are the reps that you want anyway. You want to better teams there too, because just like you want to see if you belong, you want to see if you can fit out there. You know what I'm saying? And it's just, regardless of what the score says, as long as there's time on the clock, there's still a game to be played. There's still something that you can do out there. So then there's zeros on that clock, then go do it. So that, that's it. So
Cool, man. Well, speaking of matchups and March Madness, here we are, man. We are in the last week of the regular season.
Speaking of March Madness, we need to have on like whatever Monday that is after the whole selection thing. Like we need to have just like a March Madness like Monday where we just talk about.
We're gonna do that and pick, and we're gonna pick all. We're gonna make all.
Exactly.
The
picks. Okay, okay. We're picking the whole thing.
That'll be a week from Monday.
Mm-hmm.
A week from this coming Monday, because conference tournaments next week.
Tournament is this week. Oh shoot, huh? It's that close.
Yeah, so we got all the conference tournaments. The big ones are next week. And then. So the selection Sunday is a week from Sunday.
Jeez.
So we here, boy. We here. But in the meantime, it's that time for our weekend picks.
Let's go get them.
Weekend pick time.
Where we at now? Are we closer?
Oh, it's getting a little tight. It's getting a little tight. See. So last week.
I think I went 3-2 last week, right?
I went 4-1. You went 3-2.
Oh, okay. You're gaining on me now. Okay.
Yeah. So now the records are 34. You're 34-26, and I'm 32-28.
Ooh.
2-game lead, dog. Yes, sir.
Last part. Okay.
All right. Let me turn that down a little bit.
So we got to get some picks today, and then I think we need to do some on Friday as well there too, because that'll be like towards the quarterfinals, semifinals of some of those games.
Yeah.
Might be able to pick some more. It might just might be a big picking week.
Big pick week. So I got some. This is a big weekend. There's some good games. Right?
Yeah.
So here we go. First game. Kentucky, 22-8, 12-5, at Tennessee, who's already wrapped up the SEC title. So that's done. But it's still a good game. Tennessee's 24-6, 14-3. And looking like they could be playing for the last number 1 seed.
Who, Tennessee?
Tennessee's in the mix for that last number 1 seed.
Okay, so then the other number ones are going to be what? Houston,
UConn,
and Purdue.
Yep.
And then so you're talking about instead of Arizona, it might be Tennessee?
It could be Arizona, it could be Tennessee.
Right?
I think it's going to come down to them two, to be honest. I mean, North Carolina, if they run the table, maybe.
If they run the table, right.
So, yeah, that's the first game, man. Kentucky and Tennessee. Who you got?
Where's it at again?
At Tennessee.
Ooh. You know what? The last time that I picked against Tennessee, I picked against Kentucky on the road was at Auburn, and then they beat Auburn by like 15. No. I think Auburn can't. No, wait. Kentucky did go to Auburn and beat them.
They did.
They did go to Kentucky. Yeah, they did. And then I think I picked Tennessee to beat somebody. Who did Tennessee beat the last time that we were talking? Because we picked.
Was it Florida?
They were at Florida, and they beat at Florida. There too.
I think so. I think it was Florida.
And Tennessee's already won it outright there. It's like what you said.
Yep.
I think that they might not have as much. I think they might be getting more ready for the SEC tournament than trying to finish this out there too. I'm going to go with Kentucky.
You're going with Kentucky.
I'm going to go with Kentucky.
Kentucky's been scoring like 1 billion points a game.
They're finally starting to hit a stride though. Like, like they're going to hit some. Yeah.
They're playing them young cats, and they looking pretty good.
Calipari usually gets him to start doing this right around March, though. It's crazy.
I know.
I'm just saying he does it every year, though. It's just like
he does.
Like, I don't think so. All of a sudden, you're like, oh wait, they're going to be a 3 or 4 seed.
Right.
And then
you're like, scary season right now.
Right.
They're getting to scary season.
Right.
But I'm gonna go with Tennessee. I'm going with Tennessee because here's the thing. I think Tennessee's got some pride. 1, that they already won the SEC, and 2, I don't know if they necessarily want to have these young cats come in their house on senior day, buying you senior day.
Yeah, that's fair.
So
that's fair.
I'm gonna go with Tennessee on this one.
That's pretty good.
All right, second game. Big game in the Mountain West, man. New Mexico, which has been doing some they've been doing stuff they shouldn't do, man. They've been losing games they're just not supposed to lose. And they were supposed to be a
tournament team, though, right?
Now they're teetering on the bubble.
They're too, right, messing around.
Remember that? Hey, you remember that game? I don't know if you ever played this game. You remember that game, Bubble Bobble? Did you ever play Bubble Bobble?
Yeah, Bubble Bobble. Yeah, where you got to shoot the little things. Yeah.
No, it was like you had to like bounce on these different bubbles, and it was weird.
Nah, that wasn't Bubble Bobble. That was
no, Bubble Bobble, dog.
Are you sure?
I'm sure.
What's
you
one of my
jump up at different levels, and then you had to it would connect bubbles and stuff. It was a little weird, but it was fun. Anyway, don't worry about me. Don't worry about that.
Okay, yeah.
The point is, New Mexico's
Mexico's
playing Bubble Bobble right now. They keep messing around.
Okay.
And if they keep messing around and lose these games, they're gonna jump on a bubble and it's gonna pop.
Yeah.
Like they should be a tournament team, but like the way they've been acting, bro, I don't know. So New Mexico sitting here 22-8, 10-7, is going to Logan, Utah. Home my boy Danny Sprinkle, Utah State, who I think is going to win the Mountain West. They're 22-5, 13-4. So big game, man. Big game.
I'm gonna go with Utah State just because of Sprinkle. But have you ever had the squeaky cheese over there?
The what?
The squeaky cheese. You never had it, bro?
No.
You had no. Like that's a real thing.
No,
I promise you, it's a real thing. Like you bite the cheese, bro. And like as you're chewing, it makes this squeaky ass noise in your mouth when you're chewing it, bro.
This is in Logan.
Yes, I promise you. I wouldn't make this up.
Never heard of the squeaky cheese.
We played in the tournament there my senior year when we were at NAU. We played against like South Carolina A&T and some other team or whatever. Utah State at that time had a freshman that was on the team, like 27 years old. He was old as hell.
Well, makes sense. Makes sense.
Anyway, no. So hey, I'm just I don't know why that has anything to do with what I'm about to say, but I'm gonna go and pick the Aggies. Yeah,
you're going with the Aggies and the squeaky cheese.
Squeaky cheese. I promise, dog. Like just ask your man Sprinkle about it. What do you want?
I will.
You say what's up?
All right. So, yeah, man. I don't know what's going on with New Mexico, man. I don't trust the Lobos right now. So
yeah.
I gotta go with the Aggies as well.
Okay.
And gotta go with Sprinkle. He's been doing a hell of a job. He's gonna get Coach of the Year.
Yeah.
He might be up for National Coach of the Year. Well deserved. So going with the Aggies. Game 3. Kansas. 22-8, 10-7. Going to Houston, who is 27-3, 14-3. Now, Kansas is not going to win the league. Houston is going to win the league.
Regardless of this game?
It's pretty much done.
But so when does the Big 12 tournament start, though?
I think Tuesday.
Like this Tuesday, like this coming Tuesday.
I think this coming tomorrow. Tuesday. Yeah.
Wait, so what's today?
Bro, it's Friday, dog.
Shit, man, wow. I thought today was Monday, bro. Damn, like hey.
What?
I don't know why I thought today was my man. That's crazy. That's crazy, brother.
Oh my gosh, my guy.
This is the last. Okay, yeah, I don't, man. Okay. Houston at home, no.
Yeah.
Against Kansas.
Yep.
Man, I gotta go with Kelvin Sampson, those guys. I don't want. I mean, like at home there too. I don't know, but you know what? But last time when they played, didn't Kansas beat them up pretty good?
Beat them bad.
They beat them bad, but that was in Kansas though.
Yes.
So, I mean, like the one thing that Kansas has, that I'm not sure if Houston has, they don't got a big like Kansas does. Because Kansas got he's got the transfer from Utah. I mean, from Michigan, right?
They got Dickinson. Yeah.
He got Dickinson. Utah.
They got a bunch of bigs, but they're not like.
But they're not like that. Yeah.
Nah.
But they'll be at home though too. I don't know. I like Houston. I need them to win something and kind of so they can get the Final Four because they're going to be one of my teams. I'm gonna go with Houston.
Yeah. Okay. I want to go with Houston too, man, but I feel like I need to pick up a game here. So
this is the one that you're gonna go against. Is this one?
Well, the next one, I know where I'm going. So I just.
It must be North Carolina Duke or something like that.
Yeah, you right. So I think I'm gonna go with Kansas, man. I think they need a win. It's probably not going to happen, but just for the sake of picking opposite you, I'm going to go Kansas.
Okay. That's fair.
That's it. All right. Game 4.
All right, no.
North Carolina at Duke, dog.
Is this one at Duke this time?
At Duke. And so here's the scenario. If Carolina wins, they win the league outright. If Duke wins, then they share it.
So that's one of those ones. This is one of them.
Yeah.
I tell you what though, Duke's class for next year. Oh my God! Hey, did you see the Big 7-2 cat that they just got? Oh, with Cooper playing there, bro.
It's dumb.
The only team that might be able to play him next year is gonna be UConn.
I don't want to talk about that.
I know. I know you don't want to hear that, but it's like I saw that yesterday. I was like, oh.
Yeah. The reality is that class is stacked.
It's crazy stacked. Yeah. John Shire did a great job for next year there too. But so this one's gonna be played at Cameron Indoor too.
At Cameron Indoor
for a share of the title. You know how the Dukies is gonna be, bro. Oh.
Yeah.
I know I don't want to do this. I don't want to do this, but I'm going North Carolina.
All of that. You know I ain't going with Duke. I can't do it. I think it's gonna be a really good game.
It's gonna be a crazy game, though.
Duke's been playing well too. Duke's been playing a lot better.
Yeah.
But I think this is an opportunity for Carolina to one, try to hold on to maybe that last number 1 seed.
Right.
And two, I think they just want to go beat their rivals. So I'm gonna go with Carolina.
Oh boy, it's gonna be interesting.
Yeah, that's gonna be interesting. All right, last one. Big Sky game of the week, and here we are in the. So they're already started tomorrow. They start the first round of the Big Sky Conference. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So we go with Idaho State against NAU.
The Fighting Pocatello's.
The Fighting Pocatelloans will Pocatello, whatever. Yeah, that's good.
Oh, just like I don't, here's like what I will say is that last year NAU made that crazy run in the tournament. Not that I think, not that I mean that would just be that'd be very hard to duplicate back-to-back years. Right? It'd be back-to-back. Yeah. But they did. I mean, they were kind of like they were this year. Like they were kind of, middle of the pack or bottom of the pack, and then won. But they run 4 games to get to the championship, and then they lost to Montana State, I think. And I gotta go in just because it's that. I mean, but I don't know much about Idaho except for the country bar that they got over there is pretty nice. And the gym that was there was always nice because they had good shooting rims, but they ain't playing on that one.
And they got Russian mob ties.
They do got the Russian mob ties. They do got
that. So there's that.
There is that. I don't know what that does with this, but there's that. That's just fine.
I'm just saying,
I'm gonna go ahead. I gotta go. I gotta go get him Jacks like Dr. Abbott. Like I just go get him Jacks. Remember Jacks.
Hey, I'm not gonna lie. There was a couple times when he would do that, and I was like,
he do it for a long time. He gonna be all right. He would have stopped. Like, go get him.
Yeah.
And I'm like, bro, like that's a long ass time that you're doing.
Bro, don't pass out, bro.
That's why I thought, like, hey, like, come on, like you the doctor, you the one that's here, like,
exactly. Who gonna help you? Who gonna help you? Right. Oh man, man. All right. Well, you know what? I don't want to pick against my Jacks either.
Yeah.
I think they got 2 wins in them for the conference tournament. So I'm gonna go with NAU on this one.
What's the rankings on it? Like, is this the tournament or is this like
tournament? Yeah. So I don't know what their position is. I think they're the 7th seed and Idaho's the 10th seed.
Okay.
If I think that's right.
Okay.
So, yeah, man. Just hopefully the Jacks can get it done. Maybe they can make another run. You know
right.
what I mean?
I mean, it's gonna start tomorrow though. So
start tomorrow. Let me see. Yeah, that's right. They're the 7.
Okay.
Idaho's the 8. So cool, man. Well, I'm glad we got to catch up, man. I know you're about to hit the road and get some stuff done and all that. Remember, today's Friday, so if you have appointments for Monday, today is not that day. Today is Friday. Just so you know.
Right. Just to make sure, okay. I appreciate you getting me on the days of the week, though.
Gotta help a brother out.
Hey, dog. Who's saying that you're never too old to learn something there, bro? Like,
my gosh. We gonna catch up on Monday, and dude. Y'all out there, he's not listening to me. I know he's doing this.
I'm just finishing.
Don't want to hear you talking about it, bro. Anybody out there, y'all need to watch Warrior on Netflix. That show is legit, bro. Y'all got to check that out.
I'll get on it this weekend. I think I should have some time. Yeah, I'll put Game of Thrones on the shelf. I'll put it on the shelf for a minute. Stop giving me shit about this. I got it.
Man, got to check it out. Check it out. Season 3.
Oh damn! You done already went there with it.
Yep.
Oh, binge watching that. She's over there just calling in sick. Hey, no, I can't make it to work.
Had to do something while I was trying to get my ass kicked in the championship game.
R&B music wasn't working there, huh? It's like,
hell nah. I got to see some people getting beat up.
I got to see somebody else get their ass whooped. It's right. You got to see that.
Not me.
That's my therapy.
Shoot, we gonna be gone. My gosh. So we'll catch y'all out on Monday and see how the weekend goes with these hoops games. But have a good weekend, brother, and I will see you Monday.
Let's get it there.
All right, and we out, y'all.
Beat that beat in. There you go. Beat that beat in.
Start Chris walking over here. Peace.